Hey everyone, Rod Santomassimo with the Massimo Show. And when a guest is so good and their downloads are so much voluminous, we got to bring them back. And today our very special guest is the one and only Mr. Matt McGregor of Colliers International.
Hi, this is Rod Santomassimo, and welcome to the Massimo Show. The objective of the Massimo Show is to share how you can maximize your personal and professional margin. That's right. Let's make more money in less time. Let's turn chaos into clarity, confusion into confidence, and income into real wealth. Along with sharing my insight on how I grew a multi-million-dollar professional business, we will bring you expert advice from various authors, consultants, and industry leaders to provide you the tools you need to build that commercial real estate business and life you have always desired. Welcome to the Massimo Show.
Matt, welcome to the Massimo Show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be back and great to see you, my friend.
Matt, if you want to hear Matt's story, please watch any of the previous Massimo shows. His story is absolutely tremendous. Overcome so many challenges, and he's one of the ultimate brokers in the world. In fact, he's only one of 20 Massimo master brokers on the planet. And he's just a phenomenal broker. But Matt, we actually last saw you. I saw you last November at MassimoCon 24. You were only one of 2 repeat speakers because you were, by the way, both years, Matt was the #1 rated speaker for both years. He was tied for #1 in 2024 with the incredible Sam McVeigh, also a Massimo master broker, by the way. So, Matt, here's what we're talking about today, because I know you love this and I love this, and probably the only 2 people in the world may love this, the cold call. The cold call.
Yes.
So let's talk about the evolution of the cold call, because brokers, you got to make calls. It's the #1 source. The #1 source of commission dollars is always the prospect call. It's changed though. So Matt, let's talk about the cold call. You experienced the initial origins of you and cold calling. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's the lifeblood and it's not going away. It's the lifeblood of our industry. It's the lifeblood of sales, right? I learned it in food sales just to start off my career, starting at 23. And it continues to be, as much as everybody wants to say, no, let's get away from it. It's social media, it's this, it's that, and whatever it is, it's going to conferences. No, the majority of my income, and I'm obviously a top broker, still to this day is derived from cold calling, right? And so the history of cold calling is interesting because, Rod, if you were good at cold calling, and you and I are, if you were good at it, up to about 10 years ago, you excelled beyond your competition. Why? Because you could get somebody's cell phone number or email from that gatekeeper, that admin, the personal assistant, whatever it were, and you could talk your way in and you could get that information. And guess what happened, right? When you had it, when you called, they answered. When you emailed, they answered. Why? Because it was hard to get. Now the evolution is, we're all paying $100, $200 a month for seamless Zoom information, Zoom scoops, all these data. And so we're all paying the same thing to get these contact numbers, right? And guess what happens now when you call? You get voicemail. Okay, statistically, and we've tracked it on our team, Monday through Friday, Saturday's different, 92% of calls automatically go to voicemail, whether they know you or not. When it says Colliers, Matt McGregor, you can push *67, you can block, you can do this, you can do that. 92% goes to voicemail on a Monday through Friday, okay? It's a little better on Saturdays, but if you call on Saturdays, you also risk the how dare you, F you for calling me on a Saturday, I'm blocking you forever. Now, statistically, they answer the phone, but be careful. So now as a group of brokers, all of us, I mean, who isn't in their tech stack paying for one of these seamless Zoom information? And we're all paying it just to have people stop replying, because now you don't have to be a good cold caller to get the information. And that's a problem.
Well, Matt, it's funny you said 92%. Is that correct?
Go to voicemail. And of the voicemails on our team, and we're good at this, okay, your voicemails on cold calls are only returning about 3.2% of voicemails. So 92% goes to voicemails. And of the voicemails you leave, you're getting about a 3% yield back.
Yeah, right. And I would tell you, look, I'll give you real stats because look, we're going to talk about cold calling, everyone.
Yeah.
Matt and I really don't believe in ice cold calling.
Yeah,
Matt, you don't believe in ice cold calling, do you?
I don't.
Neither do I. We'll talk about that. People freak out about that term, cold calling. There's a better term that Matt and I are going to discuss. But for us, I'll give you the exact numbers. As of right now, as of today, we track everything. Matt tracks everything. My sales team has made 5,917 dials, call attempts as of right now, right? That's the number my sales team has made.
Is that actually them calling or is that AI?
No, we don't include AI. We have when it comes to true cold calls, Matt, pure cold calls, we have a bot that will make calls.
That's right.
We don't want to make cold calls. We don't. But for a personal call, and of that, 540 conversations. So to Matt's point, that means is a little over 91% of the calls
We're right on there. Yeah.
Right? Are
So
going to
about
voicemail.
the same.
Going to voicemail. So Matt, I agree with you. So Matt, what's the opposite of a cold call?
That is a warm call, my friend.
That is a
call. That's right. Exactly.
So before the evolution of technology, warm calling works. It works. It absolutely works. I'll give you my example. Give me yours. So in our example, look, 10 years ago, and some of you can relate to this. I get listening to this podcast, but we would just dial on the phone. We would. And some of you have no idea what a phone book is, and that's a whole different story. we would dial on a phone. We would. And then came emails, and then we would understand to couple emails with voicemails and reinforce the message. And then, of course, came social media and DMs, and you can reach out on DMs and reinforce that as well. And then came the evolution of the big T word, which is the great word now, text. And now you can supplement your voicemails, emails, and DMs with text. All those happen as well. And that warmed up your client. Of course, you send physical pieces to the client, and it's
right. Mailers.
Let's not say case studies or success stories and market studies, and then they warm them up, and so you wouldn't be a total stranger. And that became the new phase of cold calling, was warm calling. And by the way, at Massimo, we do not ever preach cold calling. We don't. It doesn't work.
That's right.
That's why we have bots. Let the bots get rejected 1,000% of the time. Go to warm calling. Matt, what's warm calling to you?
So warm calling to me is a little different than it is to you, but I would say it's the person knows you, whether that's because you sent them, to your point, case studies, introductory letter. Usually when I call now, that warm call would be phase 4. So it's an introductory letter. We might send them one of our books that we've authored. We might send them a case study, to your point. So usually that warm call, an actual physical phone call, is step 4. Okay. But warm calling to me now, as you know, and if you don't mind, I'd love to go into the technology that I'm using for that.
Well, I'm going to share what we're doing first, because then yours, I love yours, and we'll talk about how we're going to use yours. So right now, what we did, so everyone understand step 1, cold calling. All I do is call. Please, folks, those days are over.
Don't do it.
Okay. Yeah. Step 2, campaign. Campaign with automation is better. Sequencing campaigns, emails, texts, voicemails, DMs, and physical pieces, all part of a campaign. That works so much better. But then in the last 2 years, something happened, and that's called technology, more importantly, AI. So on the Massimo side, and at MassimoCon, I announced this, and Matt's going to share what he announced at MassimoCon. The whole audience went, what did he just show us? I'll get to that in a second. But what I showed at Massimo was for our clients only, we have automation tools with integrating AI to create the campaigns to let them prospect more effectively and efficiently. So the automation does it, but it can go even better than that. So one thing about automation is, yes, you automate the emails, the voicemail drops, the DMs, the text messages, and then believe it or not, you can have bots communicate back and forth on text. That's there today. It is for text correspondence. And even you can have, and the FCC just came down with a really different regulation in the last month. You can have your bots call and received incoming calls as well and have those conversations. But bots are not accepted widely yet in the market. They're not. So eye on bots. But there's even a better way than that. And so Matt introduced something at MassimoCon. And Matt, go ahead, tell us what you introduced.
So being a lifelong study of the sales industry, I've always struggled with that concept of cold calling. To your point, make it a warm call. How do you make it a warm call? In brokerage, we all sound the same. Okay. You think your letter's better. You think this introductory letter, you're calling. The last thing you want to do is do that. Even if it's a warm call and say what brokers say. Oh, your lease is coming up for expiration. Oh, your contract with my competitor is coming up. And are you going to be sending out RFP? You just sound like every other broker. So I've always struggled with when to call somebody and how to sound different. Those are the two equations to a warm call that separate great salespeople between everybody else, right? And so I've always struggled with the concept of when and how, why, what is the content. I developed, starting about 2 years ago, a very sophisticated piece of software that's finished now and patented. It's called Warm Caller. And that's what I introduced at MassimoCon. And boy, has it been a fun piece of technology. So it has been just a joy to put it together. A struggle, but a joy. And it's a game changer. And so what it does, Warm Caller, it's plugged into your CRM system. So it could be Salesforce, it could be HubSpot, and whatever it is. It's plugged into it. And when you're sleeping, Warm Caller gets up at about 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it canvasses and scrapes all of the contacts and companies within your CRM. Okay. It could be hundreds, it could be thousands. It scrapes that and it takes that information and it goes out to the World Wide Web. And it scrapes hundreds of thousands of articles based on news and information that's happening now in the last 24 hours. Okay. Then it brings it back. And through an AI component, along with when a broker is onboarded, we ask them a series of questions to make sure that the news is relevant, okay, to what you're trying to do. I'm an industrial broker, right? So for example, if Amazon's in my database, I don't want news about Black Friday's toothpaste sales, right? I want to know about fulfillment, distribution, supply chain, things that related with that, okay? So the AI component scrapes that information, pulls out all of the stuff you don't want to see. And then first thing I see when I come in, I get in about 6 a.m. is I get an email with the top, what I call nuggets. It ranks all of this news on a scale of 1 to 10. But to remind me to open Warm Caller, the first email in my inbox at 6 a.m. is from Warm Caller going, here's your 5 top news articles today that are 10s, right? And it's like, hey, this company just acquired this company, right? And you do business with them. They just announced an acquisition or a merger. Or your key real estate person just took a new job and there's a new person coming in their role, right? Or they filed bankruptcy or they announced a new line of product that's going to require a new distribution center. All of a sudden I'm clicking, right? I'm going right into Warm Caller, and you can set it, mine set for 200 leads a day. And I'm just usually glancing at the 9s and 10s. It ranks it on a scale of 1 to 10. So I'm glancing at those and who could follow up on that many. So I look at them and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow up on these 6 or 7, right? Maybe it's more than that. If I'm a young cold caller, it's going to be more. At my level, 6 or 7, right?
Right.
So I'm going in and just a click, I have about 10 different templates of my language, how I communicate via email, that I can say, oh, I know this guy, so I'm going to use template number 5, okay? Or I don't know him, I'm going to use template number 3. This is a cold call, that's actually a warm call. And what it's going to do is it's going to take your language and it's going to take it in an AI format, and it's going to take that article and it's going to blend those together, okay? And so in just a click, you can either get information to make a warm call, so it's going to give you all the talking points, or it'll draft an email or a letter for you. And it's basically going to say, hey, Rod, I saw today that you're merging, or you're acquiring this other company. As a reminder, I do network optimization. So you're probably going to want to blend those and shave off the less profitable locations and pinpoint the right locations for your company. I'd love a quick 20-minute call. Here's the link of the article I read about it, right? And literally, you couldn't do this as a broker, because Warm Caller is canvassing and scraping hundreds of thousands of articles and then culling them out for you, right? To give you the prime stuff related to your business.
You know this so well. So let me break this down, what I heard you say. So folks, technology exists. Matt has patented, this is a patented technology. And yeah, I am endorsing this. People have always asked me, Rod, does it mean you're endorsing something? Yes, I'm endorsing it because I'm a user as well. So as a broker, there's so much noise out there and you're following so many prospects, and there's no way you as an individual, even as a team, can filter through all the noise that's going on for your specific prospect. Could you create a Google alert for a specific prospect? Sure, that's a lot of Google alerts. That's a lot of maintenance. But then this tool understands who your prospects are, understands what's going on in the world, so looks at the news articles, and we'll get into in a little while, other sources it creates from, and then can identify for you and rank them in priority based on filters and algorithms, which ones you really need to talk to right away. Versus, like, if you're a junior broker, you want every lead possible. I get that. Believe me, you'll get to the point you have too many leads. I mean, even us, we have 3 leads right now. And a lot of leads, look, leads are nice. Everyone wants leads. But back to Gary Grant Ross, the leads. Right? It's the quality of the leads that matters most here. And that's why this is so impressive to me, is that they'll rank, these are the people you need to talk to right now. And not only that, Matt, if I heard you correctly, then I'm going to offer to you a suggested email in your voice, a suggested calling script outline that you would do based on these pain points or opportunity points. So it takes us the guesswork and the chaos out of commercial brokerage, and we do the clarity and confidence to go ahead and make the call. Is that accurate?
That's absolutely accurate. Yeah. And you get to set your rankings. The AI function will learn you and correct you.
Yes.
I thought I knew my rankings, but the AI took over. So when you're onboarded, for example, I might value over my team, the biggest thing that I rank is mergers and acquisitions of companies. Okay. Other people might not rank that a 10. They might rank that an 8. They might rank a job change a 10. I know one of my partners, Kyle, loves the job change thing. He's tracking that all the time. He ranks that a 10. So he's watching all those real estate directors and VPs of real estate and tracking all those guys where they're going. And so he loves that component. I love mergers, acquisitions. I love new product announcements because that really makes you look like you're, yay, with this new rollout, you might need new facilities or a reset where your facilities are located. And so that is how it works. You, when you're onboarded, set your rankings on what you want, and then the AI learns you and will suggest things. And those two algorithms together is what produces the ranking. And it will actually tell you why it ranked that article that way. That way, it's almost like a guitar where you're fine-tuning the instrument, where you go back in and go, no, I don't quite like that ranking. And you just adjust those rankings. And after a few weeks, it's just perfect to you.
So Matt's still talking because Matt knows it well. And
Hey folks, Rod Santomassimo with the Massimo Group. And did you know we work with thousands of your commercial real estate peers over the past 15 years now? And we've helped them build the business and the life they've always desired. And yeah, we have programs now for every level of success, experience, and yeah, even budget. So if you're tired of living on that transaction treadmill, of living in the chaos and the whirlwind of commercial real estate, if you want more clarity, more control, and more consistency, and yeah, higher commissions, give us a call. Visit us at www.massimo-group.com. That's www.massimo-group.com and schedule a free strategy session today.
some people are saying, Matt, right now, well, hold on. So Matt's obviously, he's a mega broker. He's working on mega assignments, but I work on those smaller assignments. I work with the private individuals. And so let me share with you, we're using it at Massimo, and we work with individuals, just like many of you out there listen to this, right? So we're not going after the corporation. I'm not going after Colliers or JLL. That's great what they do, but I care about the individual broker. So Matt has shared, his team has shared how we can do it for just targeting our list of prospects to see, and it's a different algorithm. For me, I look at who's closed a deal, who's now come on to, who's new to the business, who's added to their team, who's switched brokerage firms. So my variables for searching will be different than Matt's, and your variables for searching will be different than Matt's. But the point is, warm cola can handle it, correct?
That's right. And so you can even say, hey, these are the types of periodicals that if I could read that fast, the hundreds of thousands of things, this is the sources that I would prefer at a higher ranking, right? So for me, being a national, international broker, my type of clients are in the news, right? If, Rod, for your business, you're going after brokers, well, that's not going to be in USA Today or,
right.
In Wall Street Journal that a broker closed a deal in Cincinnati for $2.3 million, right? that's going to be on social media, right? It's going to be on LinkedIn. It might be in their local daily journal of commerce or whatever that local newspaper is, right? So when a broker is onboarded, we would understand, are they a local broker? Are they a national broker? Are they an international broker? And fine tune that to what that is. And so when you and I talked and you're like, hey, can we use this for Massimo? And I'm like, well, we're set up for brokers. I'm going to have to fine tune this because where brokers are advertising their deals, because hey, you're probably going to reach out to a broker. He just closed a deal that made him hundreds of $1,000s in fees. He now can hire a coach, right?
Exactly.
And so that's a great warm call for your team to reach out to a broker. Congratulations on this deal. Remember us, we're Massimo. You told me last time you didn't have the money. I know you got the money now.
But the same thing's for, look, if you're representing a shopping center on the leasing side or the sales side, or multifamily or industrial, like Matt's mega industrial, or yes, even office, right? Land.
Right.
It applies to everything.
Yes, it applies to everything. I mean, we've looked at it. We're test casing it right now with multifamily brokers. I haven't done retail. Is easy to me because retail, that is in mainstream media all the time, right? Those name brands and announces, all of that is in there. Multifamily is a little bit different, right? So we wanted to see where that is posted. That's more of a local play. Unless you're a multifamily broker selling over 250, then it's a national news type thing. 250 units, I'm saying. So it changes. And again, that's why the algorithms of warm caller are adjusted like an instrument to that broker.
Okay. Matt, people are going to be asking, like they come to us, and Matt and I just shared, we just did our first enterprise in 16 years of Massimo. We just did our first enterprise solution working with one of the top 3 brokerage firms in the world, doing a specific thing. But we always work with individuals. So Matt, I see people in this call going, why just buy it for the entire firm and then we'll figure that out? It's too macro, correct? If you're a platform, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not for the huge organizations. They will get oral leads and just source them from here. It's really more for the team or individual to decipher their leads. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, the big brokerage firms typically don't buy software, right? Even their databases are still individualized, right? Usually you might get a discount because you're at a big firm for premium LinkedIn or for your Salesforce database, but they're not buying it for you typically, right? So this is geared toward the individual, whether you're at CBRE or you're at your own ABC real estate company. You can buy a single license, you can buy licenses for your team, but yeah, we're targeting it that way. And by the way, Rod, this is all, as you know, recent because I was on stage explaining it, and it was really, I built it for me, not to share.
I know. So, but Matt, that's my next question. Matt, why the hell would you share this?
Great question, because I built it for me, and I'm like, I got on stage and I talked about my tech stack. Yeah, that's why you wanted me on stage. So I'm like, this is what I do, and this is warm caller. And all of a sudden, I was bum rushed by people saying, how do I sign up for warm caller? And I'm like, well, that's kind of my toy. And I just looked at it and went, you know what? This is first of all, there's a much bigger use than me, just one person or one team using warm caller, and it's customized. So they're not getting the same information that I get, right? It's tuned to me and what I do. And obviously my templates are different. And it's interesting because the value play. So to answer that, it didn't interfere with my business. And once I was like, you know what, this doesn't interfere with mine. My information is tuned to me, and the way I communicate with the clients and my value proposition is different. And I'm going to pick different types of articles and different types of companies, and all the rankings are different. And so I'm like, you know what, this tool should be in every broker's tech stack, right? When I think of the tech stack in brokerage, I think everybody has to have a database. So I can't say, does everybody have to have warm color? No. Okay. But you think of it, let's go back to what we talked about at the beginning of this call. We're all suckers paying for Zoom information, right? Or Seamless or whatever that information is to get contacts to make a cold call. And how accurate is that? Well, it depends on what platform. And I've paid for several of those platforms. And let's just say the information is 60% accurate across the board, some better than others, right? I think Zoom is very good. All right. That's what I use now. And so that information is very good. But again, you're paying a couple $100 for a user license for stagnant information that we all get. Same thing. And we all have the same phone number and the same email, and they're not answering it. To the point of you 91%, us 92%. They're not answering it. Okay. They will answer a warm call that I can't tell you how many times, Rod, that I've taken something out of Warm Caller, sent it to somebody, and they didn't know their company was doing it.
Yeah.
And they're like, holy crap, this is the third time this guy's reached out on something. How does he know this? This guy is unbelievably well-read. Well, I have dyslexia. You know that. I'm not well-read. I'm not reading this.
Not well-read.
Okay.
There's a lot of things you're not well-read.
But I can't tell you how many warm calls from Warm Caller that I've reached out and that people were like, hey, give me a call. Thank you for this. I wasn't even aware we were doing this, right? Because it's right now, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, you can also use Warm Caller. You can go into it and say, let's say you're following Boeing, or let's say you're following ABC Distribution Company. You can click on it and say, show me the news in the last 2 weeks, 30 days, 90 days, and then look at just that company and pick an article and say, AI function, write the email. Right? It doesn't have to be today's. That's a recent change, but the beauty of it is you are the first to know. Okay. You're the first to know about that. I found out through Warm Caller that one of my national companies was acquired a couple months ago. And I was like, I've been doing business with them for 7 years. Okay. I didn't know. I literally have an exclusive relationship with them, and they were being acquired by another company, which means I'm at risk, right?
Yeah.
6 in the morning, and I'm like, this company, and I'm like, right? And I called the real estate director. He didn't know either.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't know either, right? Yeah, his job's at risk. And I'm like, and Warm Caller identified it.
So here's the thing. Look, timing is everything. I have a prospecting webinar this afternoon with like 350 people assigned to it. And the first thing I'm going to tell them is, look, in prospecting, the golden rule is who you call and what you say. If you get one of them wrong, you're dead, right? You call the wrong person with a great pitch, who cares? You call the right person with a shitty pitch, who cares?
Who cares?
But now, think about what Matt's technology does. It's identifying the right person, and then in addition to that, it's outlining the pitch that will resonate based on that. It's solving that issue. Now, what we do at Massimo is that once we understand that, our technology then creates an entire campaign. And then once you get the listing or the exclusive, we have an automation on getting that listing out to the market as fast as possible. So is Matt and I going to combine technologies? We're talking about it. Do Massimo clients get an advantage on Warm Caller? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
But Matt, everyone's going to ask this right now. Matt, I want Warm Caller. I want to see it. I want to see a demo, whatever it is.
Yes.
But this is not a client look. Well, maybe it's a client look or a real next. It's a software solution, but you have to customize it. It's not off the shelf. I'm just taking it out of the box, correct?
No, from a perspective of it will plug into your database, right? And it'll look at, but you on onboarding, we are asking you a bunch of questions and having you rank stuff, right? So we are fine tuning it to you and to your database and to your prospects.
Okay. So when I started Massimo, I could take on 20 clients, and I realized I never slept. Right?
Yes.
So that I had to get a new coach, and now I have 35 coaches. I'm still getting a little sleep, but I enjoy it. So Matt, this is really a scarcity issue, which is always a great thing, and scarcity in product. Truly, are you opening up gates up now to the public?
I am opening it slowly. Okay. We want to make sure that everybody that's onboarded is happy and it's fine-tuned. So if I got 500 calls from this podcast, we're not onboarding all of them.
But you have a wait list, correct?
Yeah, we will start onboarding now. Okay. And we are going to onboard. I've got a very high level tech person that's doing it. Eventually we'll get a couple more tech people, the onboarding. So I got 2 guys that can onboard right now. And we just want to make sure that every person that we onboard is super satisfied. And so we're not going to say, oh, we're going to sign up 500 people in a month. Not going to happen, right? But we're going to onboard now. So if people reach out, they can go to warmcaller.com, register, we'll reach out, we'll set up a demo. And then if you want to proceed forward, we'll start onboarding. And then we're going to measure it. We're going to make sure that everybody's happy, and then we'll continue to grow it.
And I can guarantee this to everyone else. I can guarantee this to everyone listening to this podcast. The investment you make, either in coaching or in Warm Caller or whatever, is only going to get higher. It only is. Matt starting out, I know that investment point that he has, and I know what it is, and you'll find out as well. It's just going to get higher next year, and much higher in 2 years, and much higher in 3 years. That's the way it all works, folks. The early adopters get the advantage of the low investment. They do. So whether it be coaching or warm caller or our new technology, which we're launching as well next month. It's the lowest price points, investment points you're going to have. So
That's right.
warmcaller.com, Matt, is that correct?
Warmcaller.com.
Warmcaller.com. Matt is one of 20 Massimo master brokers on the planet. When I think about it, he's the ultimate industrial broker that we know and we work with, and he's just fan-freaking-tastic. And besides that, if you haven't figured out, Matt's a freaking awesome human being. So
Thank you so much.
It's always good. Matt, thank you so much for your evolution of cold calling. Now where we are today, the warm caller, and best of luck to you. And I look forward to our next episode, an update on everything at the next Massimo show. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being on the show again.
Bye-bye. Hey, and everyone else listening in, this may sound like a sales call. It's not. This is about the evolution of cold calling. The lessons you should take from this is what I'm doing right now the most effective and efficient way to get business? That's what you should take away from this. Yes, there are tools like Warm Caller, like CRE Launcher at Massimo Coaching, and other things that can accelerate where you're going. It can. We're just giving you the options to explore, and hopefully you realize I need to change because I need better results. Until next time, this has been Rod Santomassimo with The Massimo Show.
Hey, that's it. That's a wrap for this episode of The Massimo Show. Once again, hopefully you learned a lot of value provided by our guests, or maybe by me. But the key is this. As we say in Massimo, knowing isn't doing. So don't kid yourself. You have to go out and do the work. You have to implement what you learned if you want to get the results. And please, if you like this episode, please share it. Share it with your colleagues, share it with your friends. Heck, share it with your dog. Just share it. And we look forward to seeing you next time on The Massimo Show.